I think really that's the first step of taking responsibility for this is, it's not just, don't just let things run you. Don't let things just take you away. Let's get to a greater degree of consciousness and self-awareness and decide how we want to respond to the situation. I happen to think that one of the classic responses, which has been definitely triggering me and really bothering me, is people are like, "Oh, are you scared of getting sick?" I know that I probably said this to you like 10 times in the last week, but it's not about us as individuals getting sick. Baruch Hashem, I mean, listen, the numbers are that every person who's listening to this, you're going to be fine. Because the statistics show you're going to be fine. But the threat is a threat to the community. That is going to be a significant number of people in the community that are going to suffer if, first of all, if we get hit all at the same time, and if we all get sick at the same time, there's not enough medical equipment and medical services and medical people to be able to handle everybody getting sick at one time. And because this is spread so fast, we could be dealing with that, and that's kind of what's been the issue in Italy and other places, and we don't really know what's going on in China. I don't know if anybody will ever find out, but the point is that if we get sick slowly here, a part of the population spread out over enough time, we'll be fine. We really will. And if it's like about me getting sick, then you're right. Oh, I'll give you a hug. I'm not worried about being sick. No, it's not about me giving you a hug. It's about me giving you a hug because I don't want to get you sick. And I don't want to be the conduit that's going to get everybody sick. And I want to recognize my role in the community as opposed to thinking about my own selfish individual, like, oh, I'm worried about getting sick.
Yeah, when you think about it that way, it elevates the whole conversation. And it really also, it's a very deep lesson in Arevas. It's like, major part of Yiddishkeit is about connecting. It's about being a connector from one to another, whether it's connecting from the previous generation to the next generation, or when we connect other Jews one to the other. And this is such a physical manifestation of that. Like, yeah, you're right. Like you said, the stats for young, healthy people like us and our children, thank God, we're not scared. I'm not scared of. But like you said, it's about just passing it on to the next person, and eventually it's going to hit somebody which is not going to be healthy. So we do have to be careful. And it's funny because it also makes me think again spiritually about Lashon Hara, because a lot of times, right, we'll say something which like, I don't really believe it, or I'm not going to think any less of that guy because whatever, I'm not a judgmental type of guy, so I'm just telling you a funny story. But I might not think less of that guy, but it's going to pass on to somebody else, and somebody else, mamash, like a virus. And someone's going to get hurt because of it eventually if we keep on talking and passing it on.
I actually just had a powerful experience of that where I said something on our family chat, and like I didn't mean it in any bad way. I just was simply stating the facts as I saw it, and then somebody else was like, wow, like, that was like really like Lashon Hara about a lot of people. And I was like, whoa. Like I totally didn't mean it in a bad way, and I totally wasn't even, I was just expressing, an idea. And you're so right. Like, that's mamish what it is. For me, it was like, I didn't even realize it, but how is this going to affect the community? And how is this going to affect other people's perceptions and their living and their life? And it's such a powerful, that is such a crazy idea. I know that Reb Chaim spoke about the idea of Lashon Hara, that we really need to focus in on that, and obviously nega, there's different types of nega or negaim, but or magefa, I don't know exactly. Maybe those are two different things.
Yeah, I think so. Well, nega refers to the tsaras, which is very like a wound or like a blemish.
I guess the correlation between the two of them, which you mentioned earlier, is the idea of bidud. Bada yeshev michutz lamachana, and over here we have an aspect of bidud. I guess the in some ways I guess it's connected, but in some ways not so much. But yeah, that idea of like, bada yeshev michutz lamachana, like that each one of us is going to be alone and Lashon Hara can break us apart. And if we think about the coronavirus just in terms of how is it affecting me, then that's like, one aspect of bidud. But if we think about the bidud, where I go into isolation and I'm thinking for myself, meaning I'm choosing how am I going to respond to this situation, that aspect of bidud, but recognizing that my actions affect everybody else. Right? It's a different way of looking at the bidud. It's that the bidud is, because many people do it the other way. It's like I'm absorbing everybody else's panic and fear and negative information and negative inputs and all that jazz. I'm just sucking it all in, but then I only think about myself. And here it's saying, no, I need to think for myself and be alone. That's like his bodidus is when we can go and just be like alone. Okay, what is actually going on in my experience? What's happening in my body? What's happening in my mind? What's happening in my heart? And now how can I go and be a positive influence in the world around me? What's my responsibility to make this world a better place?
Well, I think that's bull. I mean, it's not two separate things. I mean, that was the whole point of Mitzora being on his own, is because he was acting antisocial and he was damaging the societal fabric the way he was behaving. I think the pasuk in Mishnah is Nirgan Mafred Aluf. He's the one who's creating separation. So you have to be on your own and think about it. Go to your room. It's funny, we're all in the house together over here. All the kids are together, and I live in a pretty small apartment. And anytime my kids are getting on each other's nerves, and they're getting on my nerves, and I'm working from home, it's like, you're gonna have to go into bidud now, because you're being antisocial. And you're gonna have to think about what you did, and think about how you're gonna deal with the others, so it's a very, very cool thought, what you said about me as part of society, me as a connection to others, me in connection to the whole community, and how do we deal with that? It's cool, and it's cool.